YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another iteration and episode of Table Cinquecento, in which we are going to take a look at some of the best, some of the stupidest, and some of the worst gameplay that the Yu-Gi-Oh community has to offer. So, without further ado, let's begin and jump straight into all 22 or something of these replays. First and foremost, let's begin with Armed Dragons! That's right. Armed Dragon is a deck. So, Armed Dragon, I think it's Armed Dragon anyway. We're going to have a bit of an engine go off here with a familiar face, and that is Treasure Panda. Treasure Panda is a simple, non-once per turn monster that can banish spells from your graveyard and then special summon vanillas out of your deck equal to the total number of banished monsters. So basically, we're just going to banish one spell here and special summon a vanilla out of the deck here. Usually this Thousand Eye Idol, which is a great target for it. We're going to be spamming the board and making a bunch of Link monsters and carrying through the recycling of Saryujo and the Avarice and the Tri-Whites to keep bringing these monster backs and cycle and cycle and cycle and cycle through our deck here. That's the name of the game, and we're trying to dig for our special, very cool combo piece. Are you ready? All right.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah. Hey, you can't use your phone while flying. Why don't you mind your own business? You're no real hero. Ha! Go to jail.
Today's video is brought to you by Hero Wars, available on Android and iOS, an online action RPG with PvP bolstering a 4 million plus strong community today. In Hero Wars, you can take on powerful boss challenges while experiencing a fantasy storyline in the campaign. Throughout your journey in Hero Wars, you can obtain a crazy amount of loot and collect over 50 unique heroes, each one with their own set of unique abilities and styles. Pick your favorite and begin your adventure today in Hero Wars. Fight in the arena, take on the Outland, or complete the Fearsome Tower Challenge. Join Hero Wars now and get a super chest with a secret hero, as well as 62 emeralds and 30,000 gold. Scan my unique QR code, or you can simply click my link in the video description down below. That's Hero Wars. I'll see you in game. Couple more cards left in the deck here. We've got the Wonder Wand resolving, trying to dig for those last few things. You might be able to kind of perhaps just about see where this is going, and it's going to finally begin by activating the 3 material effect of Saryujo to special summon a monster out of your hand. That's Armed Dragon level 5. Then we're going to activate Fusion Tag. Target a monster, reveal a fusion in your extra deck, and if you do, the target monster name can be treated as a revealed fusion monsters. So he's going to tag the Saryujo into one of the VWXABC monsters, and here we go. Fusing away his monsters into VWXYZ Dragon Catapult Cannon. Then we're going to level up the Armed Dragon 5 into 7, who then combines to contact fuse into the Armed Dragon Catapult Cannon. Then we're going to burial from the different dimension those 3 monsters back into the grave, which then allows us to go into the Armed Dragon Catapult Cannon courtesy of the fusion tag. Doing it once again with the burial from the different dimension to then banish them all from the graveyard to then summon the 3rd Armed Dragon Catapult Cannon into Super Dimensional Robot Galaxy Destroyer, which requires 3 level 10 monsters. Rank up Astral Force into Zeus Pass. Discarding all cards from the hand in the end phase, courtesy of Into the Void. Our opponent is simply going to droplet our Zeus, and he's going to full hero combo us. Damn, you mean to tell me we used our whole extra deck and main deck just to lose to this? Who could have seen that coming? How unfortunate. Very cool. Next replay is Cyberse Sex. What does that mean? You'll see. Super Heavy Samurai Wagon adds from deck to the hand here, going into the link of Super Samurai Scarecrow, triggering the wagon, and we've also got the Archiver triggering on the special summon into that location. Super Heavy Samurai is going to be able to trigger their effects and allow you to give your opponent a card here, specifically Ryo Okami. If your opponent special summons a monster, your opponent sends a card from their extra deck to the graveyard. So because it's on their opponent's side of the field, every time we special summon now, we're going to mill a card from our extra. I'm sure that won't be a downside, surely, right? Here's Cross Sheep, special summoning Parallel Exceed, triggering the Okami, sending Herald. Herald adds Advanced Ritual Art. Okami triggers again on the Herald of the second Exceed to add Paladin of Storm Dragon. We're also going to mill Geomath Mech Final Sugma Diplexer Chimera. And now we're going to go into Dagares to draw 2, discard. No, we're going to actually use the special summon effect. Then we're going to keep triggering the Okami, sending 3 transaction, and we're finally going to ritual summon the Paladin of the Storm Dragon. Draw sheep triggers to draw 2, discard 2. Omega is recycling using the Okami, and then we're going to summon with, I think it was the Paladin of Storm Dragon, into Anti-Human Intelligence Messiah. And now Omega gets to recycle, and we're going to keep looping and going through here. We're making the Cypher Dragon, stealing back the Okami, making it a Galaxy monster, and ranking it up into Full Armor Photon Dragon, linking away all the monsters on the field into Saryuja. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Activate effect to draw 4 here, and there it is. Sex summon. First, we're going to summon Dot Scraper into the Space Insulator and perform a sex summon. Banish from your hand, grave, and or face-up field 6 monsters, 1 ritual, fusion, synchro, Exi, pendulum, and link, each with the same original type, then special from your deck or extra with the same original type of those banished monsters from the extra deck. So here we go. Banish all of those into Firewall Pass. Worth it and value. Great combo, my friend. Let's see if it's going to survive the onslaught of dinos. Damn, they always open Dig and the Field Spell, or like Misk as well, right? Oh no. No, nay, we can't target with Firewall now? You mean to tell me this wasn't worth it? Oh, 13 extra deck cards wasn't worth it just to lose to a Lost World? Damn, that's crazy. Well, our opponent's gonna pop off with some Dino cards here and probably rack up the game. I guess we might as well check his deck out and see what he's doing. Probably nothing special, just a bunch of Dino stuff and OTKs here with... Yep, there we go. Wow, yeah, it actually doesn't end the duel, but... yeah, we top deck CR Carver, and that's gonna be it. There you go. Cybers, sex. Next replay is FA. I don't know what I'm seeing in this hand here, but shoutouts to Gage. Here we go. FA. We're gonna Pot of Desires, draw into some cards here. We're gonna start with the Despot combo into the Halka Fibrax for the Auto Navigator. We're going into Auradon, which usually is a bit of a snooze fest in table 500 because they do the same thing here. But let's see if you can do a pretty cool payoff out of this one. We're making Cupid Pitch. We're getting the 2 tokens off the Cult Wing. Making... ladies and gentlemen, we're using a different engine. Not this boring Herald Savage Dragon nonsense. No, we're making FA Motorhome. Woo! Terraforming is going to add an FA field spell, which adds Dark Dragster. Activate the Motorhome, which I think brings back Auto Navigator. Navigator triggers to add another FA card. Dragster summoned. Field spell triggers. Dark Dragster synchros away into a second Motorhome. Now we're going to activate some Virtual cards. What's the synergy? I don't know either. But it makes another 3rd Motorhome. All 3 copies now on the field here. Lulu activates, making another FA card. Dawn Drax. And now we're going to activate Downforce, which targets an FA, increases the level by 2 till the end of this turn. We're increasing the level of the Dragster. And now, I don't know what's going on here, but Chainlink 1 Motorhome. Chainlink 2 Dragster, Chainlink 3 Motorhome, Chainlink 4 Motorhome, Chainlink 5 Motorhome, Chainlink 6 Dragster, Chainlink 7 Motorhome, Chainlink 8 Motorhome. I don't know what happened, but we're increasing the level to 13. Why would we increase the level to 13? There has to be a reason for this. Well, let's do some virtual plays here. Here's a Pendulum, increasing the level of the Shen Shen. GG comes out, mills a card. All of the monsters are summoning a 5 material Numeronius Numeronia. What are we doing with this? Well, before it's summoned, it looks like our opponent's going to trigger the Serpentron. And we're adding a 2/2 with the King Long pitching it to the graveyard and passing turn. What does Numeronius Numeronia do? If this is special by the effect of a C1000 Numeronius, it gains 100,000 attack and defense during your opponent's turn. You can apply the following effects. So the problem is that this card does a lot of cool stuff when it has C1000 as a material. By my calculation, none of these cards are Numeronias. So it's just... it just dies to a Grand March attack over the Numeronia. I think we forgot to use one of the materials that were supposed to be used for this card, but it is what it is. Next replay here is Flower Guardians. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have like a hidden rule for table 500, and it's if you send in 6 Samurais and Flower Guardians, I basically just instantly delete them because I'm not watching you do a Shogun loop for 10 hours or a Flower Guardian loop for 10 hours. However, our opponent's playing heroes here, and at some point he's going to use Draw Hand. Now you see Draw Hand, surprise, surprise, in the name it says it draws a card. You see, this card that he drew is called Appropriate, which you can only activate when your opponent draws a card outside of their draw phase. And each time your opponent draws a card, you draw 2. So it's Max C. Now, if you Max C Flower Guardian specifically on drawing effects, what does Flower Guardian do to you? Well, let's have a look here. We're doing some Destiny Hero stuff in the draw phase. I don't really know. I guess it's probably to trigger the draw hand to give him another card to then trigger the appropriate. Okay, now we're going to activate some Flower Guardian stuff, which is draw an add. And then our opponent triggers to appropriate. Flower Guardians, almost every single card in this deck draws a card for its an effect. And our opponent, in response, has to, by the effect of appropriate, draw 2 cards whenever we draw a card. So, this is great for him because when it gets to his turn, he's going to absolutely destroy him, right? Because he's going to have 30 cards in hand. Now, the problem here is that none of the cards he's drawing stop any of these Flower Guardian special summons, draws, and adds. So it looks like our hero, literally our hero, unfortunately, he got paired up against Flower Guardians, which draw so many cards in a single turn that he is going to be, you can see it, decked out. Hero players, in a nutshell. Maybe you should have put some hand traps in here to really, you know, synergize with the drawing. I don't know. Just a theory. I'm not an expert. The next replay is called Gage Can Win. Do you believe that Gage can win? If we look at the hand that Gage has drawn here versus what appears to be a typical standard Isolde combo deck of summon Armageddonite, do a bunch of nonsense, can Gage win this duel? Well, Gage has opened the typical hand of 3 Guru, Redox, fucking Crabons, and 1 Farfa, which, by the way, if you weren't aware, was actually released in Secrets of Eternity. This set introduced the Infernoids. Okay, we're not going down that path. But anyway, our opponent is going to do a massive, huge combo here, which essentially draws out his entire deck. He's going to make multiple Omni Negates. And when I was quality controlling this deck for you, I'm going to be completely honest with you. It's probably for the best that I simply just skip this part and we go to the next turn so you can understand why we're doing that. The reason for that is that he's using this card here, Tuningware, which when sent as a Synchro Summon, draws a card. Magic Cat, as a Synchro Material, when it's sent to the graveyard, returns a spell card from your grave to the top of your deck. He's basically going to infinitely loop Magic Cat and Tuningware with this Synchro Summon to draw a card, put the card back to the top of his deck, that being Desynchro, and then keep resolving it so he goes +1 every single turn until he gets his entire deck. So this is basically, just to save you some time, what he ended it. I want to ask you, can Gage win? Through Savage Dragon, ABC Dragon Buster, Infinity, Crystal Wing, Veiler, Ash. Can Gage win, ladies and gentlemen? Who believes? We're going to begin our turn with Left Arm Offering. Banish the whole hand. By Redox, Guru, Farfa, Crabons, and 3. His opponent, surprise, surprise, is going to negate the Left Arm Offering. What does Gage do now? All backs against the wall. How is Gage going to get out of this situation? You guys don't think he can win? Let's see if he can win. Contact Fuse into Fortress Dragon, using the opponent's Cyber Dragons. Contact Fuse into Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. Overlay into Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon. Overlay into Cypher Blade Dragon. Attempt to pop the Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, I believe. Gets negated and destroyed. Cypher Dragon floats back into... Cypher Blades floats into Cypher Dragon, which then gets ranked up into Full Armor Photon Dragon. Full Armor Photon Dragon tries to pop Savage Dragon. Here's hand trap number 1 into Veiler. Now we're going to summon Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon. Farfa, but that card's banned. Shut up, Gage needs it. Activate Dark Matter, sending Sephert, Levianir, and Eclipse Wyvern from deck to the grave for cost. His opponent banishing the rest of his deck here, which is, surprise, surprise, triple Shora. Eclipse Wyvern banishes a Chaos Emperor Dragon from the deck. Sephert adds Levianir. Galaxy Eyes gets detached to special. I don't know. Levianir comes down basically. Activates the effect to pop. That's Veiler number 2. Eclipse Wyvern adds back the Chaos Emperor Dragon. Scale up the Chaos Emperor Dragon, pay 1,000, add back the Eclipse Wyvern, link into Romulus, Chainlink 2 to block. That gets ashed. Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter triggers a Chainlink 1 to send and banish the Red Eyes Darkness Meadow Dragon. Bring back the Chaos Emperor, triggering the Eclipse Wyvern, adding back the Red MD, ranking up into Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, banishing the Romulus, special summon Red MD. That's hand trap number 4. Negate, however, with Photon Lord. Red MD resolves, bringing back the Cypher Dragon into another Dark Matter, sending White Stone of Legend and 2 Guard Dragons. And Simo is going to banish all 3 copies of his Kalut from his deck. White Stone adds Blue Eyes, then we're going to use the Guard Dragon to add it back to pitch and then bring itself out onto the field, triggering the other Guard Dragon, making some bodies into the Protector Whelp, Pisty, and... Gage needs the ban cards, okay, chat? LP! Piss brings back Cypher Dragon, going into the 3rd Dark Matter Dragon, banishing the rest of his Blizzards from his deck. LP summons Chamber Dragon Maid out of the deck, adding a copy of Dragon Maid Tidying into the Striker for the boot sector, popping itself, adding back the Tracer, linking into Argapane for Hot Red Archfiend Dragon Abyss into the Hieratic Seal, boot sector launch, triggers to summon out the Tracer, popping the Dark Matter Dragon, sinking for 8 into the Boral Savage, equipping the Argapane, negating the Crystal Wing, attacking over, passing, using Arc Brave, attempts to use the Savage Dragon, negates with the Hot Red Archfiend, and Sloth, as Goliath is summoned to the field, which neither player can summon from the extra deck, and then we're going to bounce away with the Seal, floating into an Aether, which can banish a card in the field. Simo's going to special summon Plague Spreader, pitch with the DDR, attempt to bring back, Boral negates, and we're going to pass, and ladies and gentlemen, Gage has managed to do it and win. It only took an 18-card extra deck and about 5 ban cards, but Gage did it! Amazing replay. Absolutely beautiful. Congratulations, my friend. This was something. Gage would never pull this off. You're crazy. Next replay is called Intercourse. Okay. Nerd Factor is out here playing the Ascended Sage and Onomatopoeia, pitching the Trick Clown, special summoning back here, paying 1,000, brings itself into XC Change Tactics. Every time we summon a Utopia monster, we're going to draw a card. We're drawing Pend Call. Does that have synergy in this deck? Oh yeah, baby, you wait and see. Utopia Double ranks up into Utopia, adding Double or Nothing, drawing more cards. Into Prime, drawing more cards. Pend Call, pitches Juggler, adds some Magicians from his deck to his hand. The Juggler adds a Hat Tricker, special Onomatopoeia, and the Hat Tricker. Go into... I see why this is called Intercourse. We're summoning number 69, Heraldry Crest, and then activating Xyz Gift. If you control 2 or more face-up Xyz monsters, detach 2 materials from a monster you control and draw 2 cards. Detaching from 69 to draw 2 cards, bringing back the Utopia and the other guy into another number 69. Activating Pot of Desires to draw 2 cards. What are we doing with the banish pile? That's right, we're banishing 3 Sex and every Yu-Gi-Oh card in the game that has come in the name. Yep. Just far from viewer humor. And now we're going to scale up with the Magicians and perform a pen summon of Celestial and Black Fang Magician. Jiangchi gets the trigger, changing a monster on the field with an Xyz rank into a level, which allows him to make another rank, another Xyz monster, another 69. Now we're going to activate and rank up Utopia Force onto Utopia Dragonar, which then gets us to draw a card, also gets to summon with the rank up, I believe, with the C69 Heraldry Crest. Xyz Gift, once again, drawing 2 cards and passing. End phase, our opponent goes for card destruction. We're chaining Escalation of the Monarchs, then chaining Dragonar. Dragonar is chained by Call the Haunted, which summons Heraldry Crest, number 69. Nice. He's brought back to the field. Dragonar gets the resolve, summons another number 69. Nice. Now we're going to tribute summon Escalation of the Monarchs on our opponent's turn for Maximum Sex in German, if you want to read this the correct way. Maximum Sex is now on the field. In response, our opponent's card destruction resolves. We are triggering number 69. The die landed on 3. Our opponent's going to go Amano Awato, normal summon, activate Raigeki, clear the board, Tremendous Fire twice for 500 damage, Psychic Blade on the Amano Awato, and attack for a game. Maximum Sex failed us. Who could have saw that coming? Haha, coming. Next replay is Invoked. We've got Alice Star versus Mask. What is Alice Star going to do for us today? Normal summon Alistair. Add Invocation. Now we're going to activate Invocation, sending away 2 Alistairs from our hand to summon Caliga. Now we're going to overlay into Dugares to draw 2 discard, getting back more Invocations. Linking it away for Gravity Controller. Activating Invocation to summon Caliga. Then we're going to activate Invocation to summon Caliga. Now we're going to activate Invocation to summon Raijin. Overlaying both of them into Zubaba General. linking them both away into Isolde Send 4 for Armageddon Knight. Armageddon Knight said Plague Spreader Zombie. Return the Alistair so we have a card for Plague Spreader Zombie to go into the Halka Fibrax for the Despot, into the Auradon for the 3 tokens, triggering the Despot, tributing offer... no, sorry, we're synchro summoning Star Eater and passing. So... fun little background story about this. Once upon a time, about 4 table 500s ago, some guy sent me a Dueling Book replay of a Star Eater turbo deck. Now, the reason that he sent me that is because he made a combo that set up Shooting Riser Dragon and Crystron Halka Fibrax on the opponent's turn to synchro summon during the opponent's main phase a Star Eater. Now, Star Eater says when synchro summoned, cards and effects cannot be activated. So he sent me this full combo about Star Eater, thinking that if he just did this, it would be like bringing back Azathoth. What he didn't realize is that Star Eater's text refers to exclusively just on the summon, you can't torrential or bottomless it. That's it. It doesn't mean you can't summon, like, you can't use effects for the rest of the turn. So, Alice Star, putting in some work here after only opening triple Alistair, triple Invocation. Very cool. Next replay is Kuribo's. This one is a little bit more normal, I suppose, here. The opponent is playing a Cyber Dark Dragon deck, which allows him to do a bunch of things. And I think one of those neat plays that this deck can do with the new Structure Deck or support is that it can set up this big fusion monster turn 1 that makes like a huge Omni Negate equip dude that allows you to prevent your opponent from doing anything. Well, we're banishing a lot of materials for it to summon out the Cyber Darkness Dragon into Cyber Dark End Dragon and linking away into Zegor, taking some damage from the Power Bond and passing. So I believe that this is like just an Omni Negate and it's unaffected by card effects or something. And now our opponent is going to try and out this using Kuribo's. How do we out this with Kuribo's from the new support of Brothers of Legend? Well, we're going to summon the Tricky. Yep. Special summon this card by discarding a card. Discarding Break the Destiny. Break the Destiny banishes itself from the graveyard to add D-Force. D-Force is activated, which allows us to search Plasma. Now we're going to activate 5-star Twilight, tributing a level 5 monster. Or rather, if the only monster you control is one level 5 monster, tribute it and special 5 monsters! Kuriba, Kuribi, Kuribu, Kuribe, and Kuribo from your hand, deck, and or grave. Here they come! It's the Kuribo boys! Linking away from Masquerena into Linkuribo, into Relinquished, into Avramax, into a Chained Cyberdark Invasion, which I think sends an equip to destroy a card that your opponent controls, which we are then chaining with Multiply to bring back all of those Kuribo monsters. Well, in a way, summoning those tokens. Attempts to pop the Avramax. It was made with Masquerena, you silly boy. Tributing the tokens from the Multiply for Plasma. Bringing back the Linkuribo here, linking away for Verte Anaconda into Fusion Destiny for DPE, using the Plasma, equipping over with the Plasma attacking for game. Guys, I promise you that this is a Kuribo deck, okay? You have to trust me. This is Kuribo's. Next replay is Mech Knights. Now, I know what you're thinking. How the hell did Mech Knights make it into Table 500? It's crazy to think that somehow this deck was made somewhat semi-interesting in Table 500, and it doesn't use World Legacy Scars. Yeah, no, that's crazy, huh? All right, well, we're going to do a couple of plays here with the Lib and the searching and stuff like that. We're going to summon out the red here, bring back World Legacy Key for the red, for the purple, not the purple, the Indigo. Indigo is basically purple. Don't at me. Special summoning a bunch of our Mech Knight cards here and ending on this field here. What is this field and why is it so good? We have a yellow, an Avramax in this column, an Indigo Eclipse, and a Red Moon. Why is this good? Well, our opponent's going to activate Feather Duster. We're going to chain World Legacy Whispers. World Legacy Whispers, when it's activated, it targets a level 5 or higher monster on the field, gives it 1,000 attack and defense, but it also negates any opponent's spell effect that resolves in the same column as a Mech Knight monster. So, Indigo Eclipse is then the one that's being targeted for the buff. Then we're going to Chainlink 3 World Legacy Secret, bring back a Mech Knight monster into the column of the Feather Duster, negating the Feather Duster. And now, if you're attentive, you may or may not have noticed that there is a Mech Knight in every single column on the field, meaning that our opponent cannot use spells and cannot use monsters. And there you go, summoning Ecclesia gets negated. Activate Invocation gets negated. A Mech Knight on each part of the field here is able to protect the entire board. Even trap cards, I guess. I think it's World Legacy Key, which has the same effect. So these three together essentially mean your opponent cannot use any cards, because the World Legacy, there's a Mech Knight in every column. This is a replay, ladies and gentlemen. I present to you Merry Christmas. Our opponent has opened real gold in apples. How are we going to play this out here? Santa Claus is dueling the imposter. We've got activate Gift Exchange, which is a card that both players banish one card from their deck face down. And if they do, during the end phase of this turn, both players add to their hands the card their opponent banished by this effect. So essentially in the end phase, they're going to swap banish face down cards. Okay, we'll see what happens in the end phase. Destiny draw for the Mali, draw 2 into Tour Guide for the DD Orthos monster, which I think adds a Dark Fairy or something. Or Fiend or something, but it basically lets him to go into Sky Scourge Norellas. Going to go into the Dagda and the Cherubini, make an access code. Here comes the Sky Scourge Norellas. Pitching real and the gold access code. Damn, I forgot to change this before table 5. I knew I forgot something today. All right, Norleras is going to then trigger and give us a Pot of Desires off the top. Damn, what a coincidence. Fiendish Rhino Warrior resolves, sending an Infernity Conjurer, and we draw a Cup of Ace as well. Activate Cup of Ace, always heads. Why would it not be? Using the Conjurer and the Mali now. Using another pot, using the Pot of Desires we said with the cards of consonance, specifically drawing a tuner here. Damn, that's crazy. Who would have thought? Here's a Karibo here, getting some more cards to our hands with all of these Blue Eyes draw cards. Definitely very lucky. Damn, it's crazy you've drawn all of these cards specifically. Who could have thought? Here's the second Gift Exchange. Cards of consonance. Keep digging into the deck for these Gift Exchange here. And we're basically trying to dig and go for Feather of the Phoenix to then add another bunch of... I think it was a Gift Exchange there? No, but we're just going for some Skull Servants now, which essentially let you spam the whole field here. Using the White Baking, digging for more cards. There's another Gift Exchange. I think that's the fourth one that's resolved for this turn. Bujin Tarumi special summons 2 Bujins, which allow you to go into a Dugares. Draw 2, discard 1. And now we have Golden Moon Coin, giving 2 cards from our hand to the opponent, and then now we're going to E-Telly into a mutant card who adds an Arsenal into Unicorn, pitching, spinning itself back, passing into the end phase. Our opponent with the Gift Exchange is going to give us Omar, and our opponent is going to receive Ho Ho Ho. Merry Christmas. Very good. Very good, my friend. Jerry Beansmans are going to be summoned to the field, and I guess that's the show. Omar versus Santa. Who would win? The amount of time and effort, I really have to give it to you. To make this replay. The time and effort, it's really something. Next replay. We've got Mystic Walk. A card which simply says, tribute a monster, select its attack or defense, gain that many life points. I think you might be able to be smart enough to see where this is going. We're going to pry Rice map into a level 1 0 attack monster, which is going to be the Chaos Sacred Beasts or something, which pretty much allows us to do 2 normal summons as well as put a bunch of Dark Fiends on the field that help us do Link summons and stuff as well. We have the spell, which brings one of them back with the discard, triggering the Doppel Warrior and the Fable Cerebro, linking all 3 into Manipulator of Souls. Why is this relevant? Well, Verte is going to pay us down, as well as, I think something else paid half our life points. I think it was the Pry Rice map, which is then going to summon out into a 10,000 attack Armatile Chaos Phantasm, which we're then going to use Mystic Walk for, to tribute it away and gain 10,000 life points. Now we're going to activate Manipulator of Souls, which... when you gain life, except during the damage step, make this card gain an equal amount of attack. Also, inflict that much damage to your opponent. So Mystic Walk gave us 10,000 life points. So we inflict it to our opponent. And they die. That's pretty much it. That's it. You just die. We have another replay here of Numeronius. I don't know what it is, but some reason, I don't know why. You guys love this card. We're going to go for a Time Thief Regulator, which gets asked, but that's okay because we have Crossout Designator. Gamma's not a real card. Don't worry about it. Summoning out the 2 Time Thieves out of our deck. Winder gets an Aduster. We're going to rank up into 4 Strix, who adds Singing Lanius, triggering the Bezel Ship in the Grave, bringing out more materials. We have an Aduster as well coming down here into Y Strix for the Zephyros. More rank 4s being made. Here's the 4 Strix, adding Raider's Wing. We're triggering the Y Strix, setting the Astral Force, special summoning the Raider's Wing, sending with the Phantom Knight Bardiche, getting the Trap card out of our deck here, special summoning the Boots, linking those into Isolde, sending 1. That's right, summoning out an attack gainer from the deck here, using the Bamboo Swords into Halka Fibrax for a Rose Dragon Synchro Monster. The Boots as our rank up spell. We're summoning the Flag out of our hand here, which adds an Umbrella. We've got the Garden Rose Maiden here, who adds the Black Garden. We've got the Rose Dragon floating from red into white. white. Rose and Roads tributes to add Rose Girl from deck to the hand, triggering some more Nemesis to special summon and recycle the banish pile. Getting out onto the field, Geonator Transrites. This is an important monster if you can see where this is going. Here's Rose Girl onto the field, and we're just going to do a bunch of special summons to put as many Rose tokens onto our opponent's side of the field here. Power 2 adds an equip. Bomber Dragon is summoned. Transrites swaps Bomber Dragon and a Rose token around on the field. I wonder where this is going. Garden Rose Maiden brings back the White Rose Dragon. We're triggering the Zephyros, bouncing the field spell, reactivating it into Utopia. Discard, I think it's a discarder to go into the Utopic Dragon, which then we can change the type of with the Reprodokus. And then we're going to rank up the Astral Force on the Utopic Dragon to summon Numeronius. So, Numeronius, if this card you control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect while it has material and is sent to your graveyard, you special summon the Numeronius Numeronia. And we're, unlike the last replay, we're summoning this properly. Now we're going to put some Bamboo Swords onto our Reprodokus here and passing turn. Now, what does Numeronius Numeronia say, and why does it have 100,000 attack points? During your opponent's turn, apply the following effects from the start of the next turn after it was special summoned. Monsters your opponent controls must attack this card. At the end of your opponent's turn, if this card did not battle, you win the duel. So, our opponent is in a situation where they have to make this card battle, or they lose the duel. The problem is that we have a 100,000 attack monster. So, if we go to the battle phase and attempt to attack this, it's going to be quite rough. So, we don't have a choice but to attack and hit ourselves for 99,980 damage. There you go. Very cool. This is the entire Numeronia gimmick, I suppose, in a replay. Next replay is Ogdoadyx. We've seen the Snaky Boys in a couple of different iterations and replays over the last few Table 500s, but here we've got an iteration that uses Hieratic monsters. Vishbalkan has become a pretty staple form of the Ogdoadyx deck because the synergy it has with all of the reptiles and stuff is pretty unavoidable, but we're also going to incorporate some Phantom Knight cards here, which allow us to go into King of the Feral Imps to add a Reptilian Kotal, synchroning for the Axel Synchron, sending Fleur into Halka Fibrax, summoning out Bylon Cube for a Cupid Pitch, and the equip we're adding is Fleurette de Fleur. More Synchro summons being performed here, adding a monster with 600 defense from our deck to our hand with the Cupid Pitch, that being, I believe, a Hero Kid, using the Fleurette de Fleur, triggering the Magic Dragon, milling a bunch of cards here, and adding the Trick Clown, sending the Snaky Boys, special summoning the Hero Kid, getting all three out of the deck because of the effect that when it's special summoned, you special summon the rest of the Hero Kids from your deck. Link summoning for Firewall, for Trigate Wizard, and a Cerberus. And we're going to draw a card here into a Unicorn, and then we're going to make a Nightmare Phoenix, and the Magic Dragon is summoned here. Water Lily pitches and adds, Trick Clown gets special summoned, links away into Underclock Taker. Chaos Creator comes down, bringing back the Magic Dragon. Damage Juggler adds a Trick Clown, overlaying into number 38 and reboarding the Cerberus and passing. This is Code Talkers with a lot of extra steps, I think. So, it's an extra link that fills up your opponent's entire field. So we have an Omni Negate Trigate Wizard. I think the Firewall hasn't been used. We have a Compulse Bounce, and we also cannot destroy by battle or card effects any monster in this U-Link here. So that's pretty much it. So how is our opponent going to deal with this unsummonable situation? We're going to activate Dart Ruler, and then we're going to Thunder Crash. Destroy all monsters you control. And if you do inflict 300 for each monster destroyed. Okay, that clears the tokens. That's step one. Convert Contract, sending Neospatians and drawing 2 cards into next for Neospatian Dark Panther. Special summoning out Neos and Grand Mole out of the hand here. Space Gift, draw 2. Space Gift, draw 2. Space Gift, draw 2. Fuse away into Nebula Neos. If this card is special summoned from the extra deck, draw cards equal to the number of cards your opponent controls and then negate the effects of one face-up card on the field. So we're going to draw 7 cards. Here's some dangers. I don't think we're in danger of hitting them when we have 20 cards in hand. The ball's on this man to activate dangers with a leg of Exodia, by the way. Absolutely phenomenal. We're playing Danger Dark World Exodia. Yep, there you go. What's he doing here? He's trying to draw Exodia pieces with his Danger monsters. Yep, you heard that correctly. Draw 2, discard. We've got some Beginning of the Ends. Saryuja, digging for those pieces. Summoning out of the hand, triggering all the dangers, searching and pitching. And there goes a leg, but that's okay. Why is that? Because we have a card set on our field, Dark Factory of Mass Production, which adds back vanilla pieces from the graveyard after having already been on the field. Here comes the multiple Saryujas, putting back some cards we don't need. Drawing deeper and deeper into the deck until we can wrap it up and get the penultimate, final, last couple of pieces that we need for Exodia. 2 pieces in the graveyard, no problem. We're just going to add them back with Dark Factory and win the game. Next replay is Phantom Knights. Is this a deck that's able to do anything cool and epic in this game? Yeah, it ends on Fogblade and Scythe with the Fusion Destiny, right? Nah, bro, we're gonna do cooler plays here. We're gonna go Cherubini for Seer. This stuff is pretty standard, but we're not making Bardish. We're making Draco Masters of the Tenyi. Here is the Cherubini brought back into Thousand Eye Restrict for the Chaos, sorry, not say Chaos, the Codebreaker monsters, which is a big link climbing engine. Now we're finally gonna make the Phantom Knight into the Shade Brigadine, gets us a body onto the field. We're summoning the Boots for the Isolde, special summoning for, yeah, it's Armageddon Knight. Sending Sky Scourge Lorleras, adding it back to the hand with the Firewall Dragon. Digging deep into the deck with oh, sorry, we're not using the draw effect of Saryuja. We're actually just going to special summon Armageddon Knight, sending the Edge Imp Sabers, which then gets to put a card in our hand and special summon itself. We're going to make Double Bite Dragon, which is unaffected by monster effects except links and can't be destroyed by battle except by battle with a link. Now we get to use Sky Scourge Lorleras, which sends the entire field in hands of the players, and then you get to draw 1 card, keeping the Double Bite Dragon on the field because it's unaffected. Norleras gets to draw a card as well after you've sent everything, so now we get to draw top deck a Jackalope, which goes into a Tsuchinoko, linking those away for Verte into Dragoon and adding a card with the Boots for the Dragoon Negate. Yeah, DPE doesn't do that, huh? See, look, top deck extravagance. DPE doesn't do that. Dragoon Andes are celebrating all over the world. Finally, our card is relevant and good again. That's right. Now we're going to activate the Verte Anaconda, sending Magical Eyes Fusion and summoning a second copy of Dragoon. Where are the DPE Andes? Yeah, I thought so. Next replay is Ra. That's right, just Ra. The God card. That's it. Yeah, Ra. I don't know who we're watching here. Is this a mirror match? I actually don't know who we're watching here. Okay, we got... This is a mirror match? Okay. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm not sure if this one should have made it, but I guess we'll check it out anyway. Stage Fright. I'm not sure what this is. I don't remember this one. Okay. Twister on the back row. Here's Egyptian God Slime. We got Ancient Chant for the Ra. Mask. Banish the Chant. Brings out Ra. Ra gets to... Does that destroy cards by paying 1,000? Does it do that? Gonna attack for some damage? Pass. That's a great Ra card. Here's Red Eyes Fusion, linking away into Nightmare Phoenix. Woo! Immortal Phoenix Wing Dragon of Ra is special summon because of the, what is this, like, Ra, like, floats into it or something, I guess? Or when it's sent from the field, it specials itself out of the graveyard, and I think it's unaffected by card effects. So Dragoon is not going to be able to destroy this Ra here, and it's not going to be able to negate it either, as it triggers its effect to tribute and special summon out of the deck a Sphere Mode. Gonna top deck Instant Fusion, that gets negated by Dragoon. We're gonna use the Sphere Mode, special summoning the actual Winged Dragon of Ra, paying life points, swapping out into the Immortal Phoenix, which then gets to send a card on the field without targeting, and beats over Dragoon. If there's one card that cannot or that doesn't care about Dragoon, it's a god. An Egyptian Yu-Gi-Oh god, apparently. There you go. Raid Raptors! A amazing, beautiful, fun, great, awesome deck that I love. Let's see how many Raid Raptor combos we're going to witness here. That's a Bora the Spear, by the way. Special summoned courtesy of the Zephyros from the deck from the Y-Strix. Here's the 4 Strix, adding the Singing Lanius, triggering to set the Astral Force, bringing back Zephyros, bringing out more Boras. Here's a Hammer Kong into Chakanine, into Borbo, into Tiger Mortar. Ranking it up with Raid Magic Force into Blaze Falcon, detaching to rank up into Frozen Lady Justice, ranking that up with Argent Chaos Force into Chronomaly Chaos Atlantis, ranking that up with Astral Force into Dyson Sphere, using the Ancient Chaos Force in the graveyard to add itself back, ranking the Dyson Sphere into Chaos Dyson Sphere, which, if this card has a number of Dyson Spheres of material, gains the effect, detach any number of Xyz that from this card, then inflict 800 damage to your opponent for each. 8 multiplied by 10 materials is how much? 8,000. I don't know where that bonus 3000 came from, but there you go. Chaos Dyson Sphere FTK versus Dinos. Yeah, should have drawn Lancia, idiot. Is there any way at all to somehow make Salamangreat fun and entertaining? I don't know. I never thought that a deck from 3 years ago could be cool and enchanting. But here we are. We're playing Salamangreat, and somehow we're going to try our best to make them fun and playable. How are we going to do that? Well, I guess let's do some basic combos first through the back row, etc. And we're going to add a card that you may have noticed that has been featured in a couple of, I don't know, Triff Gaming videos. Adding Salamangreat Gift. A continuous trap card, which discards a Salamangreat, sends a Salamangreat from deck to the grave, and then draws one. Okay, what's the logic here? Just draw a bunch of hand traps, right? I mean, obviously, right? You just draw a bunch of hand traps to disrupt your opponent. You keep using it every turn with Salamangreat monsters. Hang on a second. We're adding a left leg of... We're drawing, rather, a left leg of the Forbidden One from our deck. So we're going to keep using this Salamangreat Gift, grinding through the duel. By the way, he could have won this duel like 10 turns ago. Using the effects here of all of these Salamangreat monsters that cycle quite well, like Fowl, like Jaguar, like Gazelle, to keep recurring resources to our hand, to then be able to discard those specific Salamangreat cards and keep using Salamangreat Gift to try and dig deeper and deeper into our deck. For what? That's right. Frickin' Exodia pieces. Cards like Buffalo as well, which isn't a Salamangreat card, helps you do that. I mean, it does discard a Cyburst and then draws two. Mirage Stallion, of course, is summoning a staple, amazing, beautiful Salamangreat, underrated monster that cool people who know how to play Salamangreat definitely run, and that's Salamangreat Beat Bison. What does it do? I don't really know. It doesn't seem to do much either. But it's here, and he's putting in work, and he's making it look good. So kudos to him, honestly. We're digging deep into our deck. We've got 4 pieces. We're almost there. We could have won this turn, I think, 5 turns ago, but finally, the last gift resolves, and there we are. Salamangreat Exodia. It only took 9 turns, but he got there in the end. It's an alternate win condition that you're allowing yourself to have by running these amazing cards in your deck, am I right? Sharktopia. Utopia monsters are great at spamming Xyz monsters, as are sharks. Damn, that's crazy. All right, let's see how we can combine that stuff together. Onomatopoeia is a field spell, which I think allows you to just special an Onomat from your hand, I believe. Regardless, we're going to go into Utopia Double. Change Tactics is going to draw a bunch of cards here. Dragonar is another Utopia that gets to trigger the multiple effects of Chain Tactics. This time, however, we're going to special summon out of the extra deck a Stealth Kuragan, which I suppose is the water portion of our deck. We are able to get the Utopic Onomat out of the deck, I believe. We're going to go for double Bahamut Shark and Zexal Force on one of the Bahamut Sharks for Utopia Leo, who is a... I don't think we have the cool Omni Negate on him, but that's your board. Kragan, Double Toad, and Numeron and Number Protection, which is a card that I think is just an Omni Negate while you control a Number Xyz monster. Our opponent's playing heroes, so, you know, it's definitely going to be a really hard-fought battle and match here. Just pretty much all you need to do in this situation is just click yes every time your opponent activates a card, and you should be good to go. I think we've clicked it too much, though, and he's in a bit of a pickle here. He's still kind of popping off here, but realizes in the end that we're not going to stand a chance for Sharktopia. Oh, I'd say it was like a 5-card combo. It was pretty reasonable, in my opinion. Next replay is Skull Servants. Yes, you heard that correctly. Skull freaking Servants. I don't know, but something about this deck seems to be able to do a bunch of crazy things in Table 500, usually courtesy of this card here, White Baking. That's right, White Baking, which allows you to add 2 Skull Servants, and I think the other Skull Servant lets you send itself from the hand to then dump more Skull Servants into the grave. We're using the Chaos Space as well. Add a Levianeer. We got Unizombie on the board, dumping some zombies, etc., assisted by Mizuki. Bylon Cube is brought out of the deck with the Halqifibrax. We're using the Skull Servants and the Bylon Cube, etc., to go into this Cupid Pitch combo with Fluorite the Floor, which seems to be a very cool, funny piece that people have been adding to Table 500 and making it work. We're making a pretty good board here, and here comes Symbol of Heritage, a really funny card that synergizes quite well with Skull Servants because it's Monster Reborn if you have 3 monsters in the grave with the same name. Funny thing about Skull Servants is that they all have the text on them to be the same name, that is a Skull Servant. Our opponent's going to activate... I don't know what this board is here, but we've got Clearwing Rider, a Gossip Shadow, a 38... Sure. Meltdown is activated. That's going to be negated by the Hope Harbinger. Dagda triggers in response to the tributing of the Halqifibrax for the One the Magician, which is then going to, that's right, scythe the opponent. I don't know why it was really worth using the 38, but here we go. The high-speed rider leaves the field because it, I don't know, does something. Wow, floats into Clearwing Sync Dragon and Clearwing Fast Dragon, and the Wonder Magician synchros away with the Scythe into Baron the Floor. Normal summon Alistar. Oh, my invocation button isn't working. I wonder why. The Trisbania gets to trigger when the special summon of a monster into the its zone to banish all of the opponent's back row, and we're just gonna wipe it up here and summon finally Real and attack for game. That is Skull Servants. Here is another Skull Servant replay for some reason. I don't know, just got a ton of Skull Servant replays. Popper Up is going to discard 2 and attempt to draw 2, but the opponent is going to Ash Blossom us. That's okay. We've got normal summon Unizombie. And to White Baking. I mean, if you're able to trigger White Baking, what else do you need in this deck? Am I right? Special summoning King of the Soul Servants from the deck, using the White Mare, returning for the Lady in White, triggering to reduce the level. Axel Synchron sends Stardust Synchron for Junk Speeder. Yes, you're right. I mean, what is the best Ash bait in the game? Of course, it's White Baking. That basically means you're then going to be able to use the Junk Speeder without any, like, you know, disruption. That's the big brain play behind this. Oh yes, you're seeing this correctly as well. We're going into Road Warrior and a Karakuri Barado as well for God knows what reason. Bish Balkan is summoned, filling up the field with the Uchizima tokens. Yazi gets to pop one of them, float into a Worm. Yep, Sword Soul. I mean, listen, it's a meta deck. What can I say, right? Don't cry about it. We're just playing a good meta deck. Shuffling away some cards with the Baxia. The Martial Metal Marcher brings back some guys. We're going to go into the Magic Dragon. Stardust Synchron is summoned. The Arrive in Light is added. Evil Form tributes for 2 boys. Going into a Cubit Pitch. Sinking away into Celestial Doom Shaman. Adding a copy of Carbonedon. Bringing back the Magic Dragon out of the graveyard. Using the Arrive in Light. Stacking the deck. Making... Yeah, you saw that correctly. Freaking Gaia, the level 6 Vanilla Synchro. But that's because it allows us to go into Omni Dragon Brotor, which lets us target and search for an Earth Warrior out of our deck. That's right, Amazonas Archer. What could we possibly do with Amazonas Archer? Well, we're going to special summon her with the Baxia. Baxia and the whatever is made into another Bish Balkan. Hero Kid is also triggered somehow. Special summoning all of those from the deck using the Amazonas Archer, whose effect is to tribute 2 monsters. Inflict 1200 damage to the opponent. Tributing away from the field, tributing the hero tokens. Summoning out more tokens with the Bish Balkan, giving us more fodder for the Amazonas Archer, who then tributes 2 tokens to burn for 12, tributing 2 tokens to burn for 12, and then using Carboned and summoning Flamvel Guard out of the deck here, using the Ashuna, special summoning Adara, triggering those 2 monsters for the 1200, and the final 1200 coming from herself, and Bish Balkan, FTKing, and possibly, I think, the worst FTK I've seen in Table 500. Through a hand trap, I guess, is what makes it epic and cool. I don't know. Next up, we've got Slifer. Let's see how much work the actual Slifer cards put into this. We're using Archfiend's Oath here, and the opponent's actually going to Ash it, by the way. If you don't know what Archfiend's Oath is, it's pay 500, declare a card name, excavate the top card. If it's the declared card, you add it to your hand. That was just a guess, and he Ashed it. Same with this Deep Sea Diva, I believe, right? No, I think he might have stat that with true name. Regardless, this man just got Ashed and Gammaed, and it's looking pretty rough here. He's going to flip Spyro's Resort just for the flex because it was given to him with the set rotation. And I suppose maybe if he is playing, I don't know, any kind of Spyro monsters, it's going to be able to protect him from being targeted. However, we do have Soul Crossing, which, if you're wondering what this is during the main phase, immediately after it's resolved, tribute summon a Divine Beast, and you can tribute a monster your opponent controls even though you do not control them. It's a quick play Sphere Mode combo. Soul Crossing is quick play Sphere Mode for Slifer on the opponent's turn. And their opponent is going to just simply pass because that is too much. However, we do have a Slifer on the field with 1000 attack points. That's pretty much it. Nope, we're not really doing much else other than that. We got Prosperity is activated, and unfortunately our opponent drew when the order is Imperial. How sad. Zhuan Wu is activated to bring back some monsters. Chuche pops the Slifer. No, how could you pop an Egyptian god? You mean to tell me it simply dies? That's crazy. Never mind, ladies and gentlemen, because we've top deck Gishki Diviner. Declare 1 card name, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's the declared card, add it to your hand. You saw that correctly. He normal summoned Diviner, simply guessed Convulsion, and got it correct. And just added it. Giga Chad leaves. The opponent activated Kowloon, got negated by Imperial Order, then was like, huh? Yeah, crazy, right? Gishki Diviner beatdown, boys. Oh no, he loses to a simple Nyan Nyan. How could this happen? We're actually playing Spyro Super Agent ourselves, just for the own ability to be able to special summon onto the field and pop the opponent's set Imperial Order, which now turns on our entire deck. We have Convulsion, we have Oath, and we now get to pop off and trigger the effect and add all of these cards from our deck to our hand and keep going and going until we can finally, somehow, wrap up this duel in what is probably one of the worst displays of an Egyptian god I've ever seen. Slifer stands, you should be very ashamed and embarrassed of yourselves right now, because the amount of time and effort it took for this man to take down a simple Imperial Order, I mean... Ooh, what can I say? Got there in the end, though. We've got Tri-Brigade Lyrilusk. How is it possible to make Tri-Brigade Lyrilusk an interesting, cool deck for Table 500? Don't worry. All we have to do is play through one alternative Blue Eyes White Dragon. And pass. And a Veiler, I guess. Here's Warbler. Warbler effect activates. He doesn't negate it. Would have probably lost the duel there, but okay. Recital Starling is summoned. Activate it. I suppose we're holding the Veiler for next match, you know, just in case. You know, we don't want to use all of our resources too quickly. Double Starling, etc., etc. Resolving into a Tri-Brigade Ferrojeet. Special summoning this guy. Special summoning Bearbrum. Pitching to bring back her to go into Shuraig. Here comes the Veiler. You really didn't want to Veiler the the Ferrojeet or anything. What you really wanted to do specifically was protect your alternative from Shuraig. I get it. No, it makes sense. So what's happening now? These aren't Tri-Brigade Lyrilusk cards. Yeah, that's right. That's a Reaperdocus that's being summoned to the field. That's crazy. Gonna special summon Barrow Canary, sending the Fractal for the bird. Normal summoning Kinkabiyo, bringing back Sapphire Swallow. What is he doing? Overlaying 3 of these into Nightingale, activating the effect to attach 2 of the recitals and 1 more from the graveyard onto the field, going into Ghostrick Dullahan. Now we're going to rank up the Ghostrick Dullahan into Ghostrick Angel of Mischief, changing the type into Winged Beast with Reaperdocus. Activating Bird Sanctuary. Target 2 Winged Beast Xyz. Attach 1 of those to the other as a material and transfer its materials. Ghostrick Angel of Mischief says, when the number of Xyz materials on this card becomes 10, you win the duel. Now, I don't want to say that this is viable, but if you really think about it, if you want to play this in a top tier meta deck, all you really need is like 3 or 4 extra deck spots. If you really want to play FTK with Tri-Brigade Lyrilusk, you could technically, if you really wanted to, play this in a current meta deck. If you really wanted to. All right, we've got another Utopia replay. I don't know, somehow, some way that this was just the most exciting deck for Table 500, but I guess people love using change tactics and special summoning a bunch of times here. Here's Utopia for the change tactics, into the double or nothing search off of the double to get more searches, into the Utopia Force, going into Ray, into Dragon R, into a more draws here. Here comes Astrotopia, getting Zexo Construction. Astro Karibo is summoned for another Utopia, drawing more cards into another Utopia Ray, into a Utopia Lightning. We just want to draw cards, am I right? Zexo Construction returns, adding, activating the Onomatopoeia for the Gagaga Sister, making a rank 6, ranking the Chrono Anomaly Atlantis into Chaos Atlantis, summoning Gimmick Puppet of Leo this time, ranking that Gimmick Puppet of Leo into Gimmick Puppet Disaster Leo. During your end phase, if your opponent's life are 2,000 or less, and this card has no Xyz materials, you win the duel. How? Detach to deal 1,000. Shien Spy the Utopia Lightning. Chaos Atlantis. Activate the effect to destroy the... to equip the Utopia Lightning to gain the effect, to then send those and burn for game, leaving him on 100 life points. And then in the end phase, the Disaster Leo will win him the duel. Apparently, Utopia just facilitates about 4 different FTKs. It only took about 7 draws off of exchange tactics. One more replay here is Yajiro. Now, this is not courtesy of GCD, so just want to mention that and make sure that we're all aware that this is not GCD's creation. However, we do have a fan-made imposter who has been willing to create his own spin on Yajiro Invader. If you don't know what Yajiro Invader is, it is a very unique monster in Yu-Gi-Oh! That when a monster is special summoned to a specific zone, it will move 1 column closer and destroy everything in the column that it moves to. It will keep moving closer and closer to that column with each special summon, destroying everything in that column. Now, the way we give it to our opponent is with a bunch of 6 Samurai, Link 1, Shenanigan, and utensils that allow us to basically make sure that the opponent has the Yajiro Invader, and then we get to control it with all of our multiple special summons into various zones and triggering a bunch of floating effects in the process. Most notably is something like Shark Cruiser, which is a fish level 4, level 5 actually, that when it's destroyed, it just special summons 2, I think, waters out of your deck. And that's really going to be able to have the effect of facilitating all of this searching and adding and special summoning to the point that we are going to try and do something special with this. And that is a Levia Dragon Daedalus is being summoned to the field, which should be probably quite relevant later, because we're going to summon Ocean Dragon Lord Neo Daedalus. This card cannot be normal or set. It must be specialed except by it cannot be special except by tributing a Levia Dragon Daedalus. You can send Umi you control to the graveyard, and to send all cards in both players' hands and on the field to the grave except this. We're using the Yajiro engine to facilitate the effect of the Dallas to rip the entire field and hands of both players apart away to the grave. However, we have some follow-up, because when Night Sword Serpent is sent to the grave by a card effect, it gets to special summon itself. We've got Ronin Toden and Rosenix in the grave as well, which allow us to link summon into Anemone, and then bringing out the Plague Spreader zombie, synchroing into Fleur de Lis, using more Ronin Todens to make Toad, bringing back Whitebeard into Dweller, and passing. So, we've managed to Rajiro Invader, rip apart the entire field, graves, etc., using and ending on a Dweller to stop any grave effects the opponent might have had, which they has a lot here. For example, the Phantom Knight engine. We have an Omni Negate, and we have an Omni Negate. Our opponent is going to activate Fusion Destiny, which we will simply negate and win the duel with. No grave effects, 2 Omni Negates versus 1 single top deck. How do you come back out of that one? Yajiro Invader. He came, he saw, he conquered. Final replay of today is zombies. Now, zombies are kind of cool, but it's also just zombies. So how are we going to make this work? Pay attention to the opponent's hand. I think that may or may not be every Ghost Girl in Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, let's begin. Normal summon Unizombie. Activate the effect to send Mizuki. Activate the effect to discard and gain level. That's going to get Ghost... The Mizuki will get Ghost Belled. The Necroworld Banshee, however, is in the grave. We're going to try and activate Ready Fusion. Summoning this Sea Monster of Theseus, getting chained by Dogwood. Now we've got Halka Fibrax, which is getting Moonlit Chilled, which is a negate. We're going to Foolish Burial, which is Ash Blossomed, and that will stop the Foolish Burial. Now we're going to activate Fusion Destiny, but our opponent is going to chain Ghost Reaper and Winter Jerry's, revealing Phoenix Enforcer. However... we have another target. Destiny Hero Dangerous. A Destiny Hero monster and a Dark Effect monster is sent from the deck to the grave. That's right. In the end phase, we're going to activate the Netherworld Banshee and activate Zombie World, and then Balrog comes out in the standby phase. So, through every Ghost Girl in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, we've managed to summon Dangerous, Hulk, and Balrog. Halka Fibrax into the Shooting Riser to dump an Ash Blossom to quick synchro with the Dangerous to make a Baron the floor. So, we've managed to make a Omni Negate through the entire arsenal of Ghost Girls in Yu-Gi-Oh! As well as on top of that, we're able to use the Denier and recycle a bunch of the cards here to make sure that we have a way to stop our opponent from doing anything. But they top deck Dragoon! Dragoon, unfortunately, doesn't have any cards in hand here, so non-targeting Balrog banish for the Dragoon, and see you later. No way to stop that, huh? Maybe if you had Fusion Destiny, it would have been a different story. Summoning Gold Real, recycling from the banish pile, eventually getting around to it using the Phoenix Enforcer and access code to attack for game. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of Table 500. Oh my god, there was some real garbage in there, some real hype moments. What was your thoughts? What were your favorites? It's time to vote it up and get your favorite replay chosen. So, ladies and gentlemen, it appears to me that it looks like that your favorite replay from Table 500 this Christmas special is Gage can win. Gage can win. Congratulations. I think this is this the second time in a row that Gage has won the Table 500 somehow indirectly? Playing through 4 hand traps and 3 or 4 multiple disruption Omni Negates on the field after having 0 cards. It only took 18 extra deck cards and multiple banned Dark Matters and LP. Congratulations, Gage. You've done it again. You've done it again, Gage. Congrats. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you had an amazing time. Hit the like and leave a comment down below with your favorite replay of Table 500. Remember that these are seasonal now, so if you want to join the next Table 500, make sure you keep an eye on my Twitter or check my Discord announcements. I'll probably be doing one next ban list in like a month or so. So that's the best way to take part. It's 1 replay per person. It has to be current format legal. Unless it's really funny, then I'll make an exception for you. Peace out and see you later.